Aether-V Supreme Biological Research Station, floating in the neutral space of the Galactic Council. In the archived reports of Xenoscience University, Specimen 109, designated as human, Homo sapiens, has always been classified as Class 7, Endangered and Vulnerable species. Council data clearly states. Specimen 109 has a fragile calcified bone structure, thin skin without scales or horn armor, and a life support system entirely dependent on a highly flammable oxygen mixture. They lack psychic abilities, have no venom, and will die without water within 72 standard hours. A weak race, surviving more by luck than prowess. Dr. Xylos, an entity composed of pure energy streams, looked through the reinforced glass into holding cell 109. There, a human named Hung sat listlessly, occasionally scratching his arm. Xylos sighed, a sonic vibration of disappointment. How pitiful. A creature so fragile that even a slight change in humidity causes them to deform. The problem began when biosensors alarmed, small, spongy, milky white nodules shaped exactly like mushroom petals began to appear on Hung's upper arms and shoulders. While Xylos was recording the cellular degradation of Specimen 109, red sirens wailed throughout the Aether-V station. The entire lighting system turned deep purple, the color of doom. Omega level alert. The mechanical voice of the station AI rang out, Xylos-Fungus, void fungus, parasite has infiltrated the ventilation system. Infection level, 98%. Xylos and his assistants collapsed in horror. Xylos-Fungus was no ordinary fungus. It was the White Death of the galaxy. This was a semi-conscious biological entity that had wiped out the entire civilization of the Cavort star system within 6 moon cycles. Its process was always the same. Attach to a host. Grow mushroom petals to drain biological fluids. Turn the host into a hollow dry corpse in just 60 seconds. Explode to spread spores to the next victim. We are doomed, Xylos trembled. Specimen 109 will be the first to be consumed. With that fragile skin structure, he will melt into a puddle of organic soup before he even realizes what is happening. The surveillance screen showed Xylos spores covering Hung, growing so fast that his body began to be covered in clusters of white, eerie mushroom blossoms. Alien scientists stood behind the armored partition, preparing the self-destruct sequence to prevent the fungus from spreading into space. They looked at the screen with pity for the last weak creature. But something strange happened. Hung didn't scream. He didn't melt. Instead, he reached up to his shoulder, plucked a Xylos petal, something that could kill an armored Vidian warrior with a single touch, and brought it to his nose to sniff. Huh. Hung muttered, the language translator relayed a voice so nonchalant it was infuriating. Termite mushroom? Or shiitake? Why does it look like the straw mushrooms my big brother uses to cook porridge? To the utter shock of the alien council, Hung was not only in no pain but seemed excited. He began gathering the deadly mushroom petals into a small pile. He used a plastic spoon, the only item provided, to scrape off the spores that were trying to burrow deep into his skin. This, with a bit of chili fish sauce, or stir-fried with garlic, would be top-notch. Hung laughed to himself, his eyes bright like a child finding treasure in the garden. What is he doing? Xylos screamed. That is a planet-destroying entity. Why is he looking at it like it's breakfast? The station AI began rescanning Specimen 109's genetic code and cross-referencing it with Earth's evolutionary history, a place they had previously ignored, assuming it was a bottom-tier planet. The results caused the entire Alien Council to traumatize. Reanalysis, Earth, Planet 432b. Classification, Death World, Extreme Level. Environment, riddled with bacteria, viruses, and parasitic fungi since prehistoric times. Adaptability of Specimen 109, the human immune system is a bloody battlefield 24/7. They have evolved to live alongside cordyceps, brain-controlling fungi, amanita, death cap, and thousands of other toxic fungi. The horrific truth, humans don't just endure fungi. They eat them for entertainment. Xylos realized a horrific truth: what the galaxy called the Xylos catastrophe was, to a person from a tropical region like Hung, just a variation of organic food. Human skin is thicker, and their immune systems are so aggressive that the moment Xylos spores entered the bloodstream, white blood cells, the true monsters in human blood, tore them apart and digested them back. Xylos-Fungus wasn't eating Hung Ching Ko the Hung Dang Koi Xylos-Fungus La Mot En Kuan Bo Sung Dam Mean Phi. When the Xylos-Fungus realized they had chosen the wrong target, they tried to retreat and withered in fear, a reaction never before seen in this species. But it was too late. Hung had gathered a basket full of shimmering mushroom blossoms. He stepped close to the communication glass and tapped it lightly. Xylos recoiled, trembling. Hung smiled, a smile that the aliens now saw as the smile of the ultimate apex predator of the universe. He held up a handful of Xylos mushrooms and asked through the comms. "Hey, you aliens, this mushroom grows pretty fast, probably because the air filter here is good. But quick question, is there a pot around here? And, do you guys have any salt and pepper or fish sauce? This mushroom looks so juicy, it would be such a waste not to make soup out of it." Dr. Xylos looked at the weak race report in his hand and slowly tore it to shreds. He realized that, in this universe, there are creatures that flee from death, and there are creatures that ask for extra seasoning to eat death. The Galactic Council immediately updated the file. Specimen 109, human absolutely do not release. Not to protect them, but to protect the universe's ecosystem from their hunger.